Good evening. My name is Kevin Corbett. I'm a Public Information Officer with CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. Today is September 28th, and we thank you for joining us for tonight's press conference and virtual community meeting. We are broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube from the Shasta District Fairgrounds in Anderson, California. Tonight, you will be hearing from subject matter experts providing information on fire suppression, weather, fire behavior, road closures, evacuations, and repopulation. If you have any questions for our speakers tonight, please add them in the comment sections, and we'll do our very best to get to those during the event tonight. I do have some updated numbers for you. The Fawn fire is currently set at 8,595 acres with a 70% containment. Currently, there are 1,639 personnel assigned to the fire. And the breakdown for that is we have 160 fire engines, 50 hand crews, 13 dozers, 8 helicopters. We do have damaged residential structures listed at 20, and we have 90 structures residential destroyed. I would now like to introduce our first speaker, our Operations Section Chief.
Thank you. My name is Tim Perkins, Operations Section Chief with CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. Today our fire was broken into 2 branches, 4 divisions. I'm going to start in Branch 1 down here in Division Yankee along Oregon Trail. We've had crews out here all through the day working around the structures, looking for hot spots, looking for trees that were damaged by the fire, continuing to make it safe all through the area. As you move up Oregon Trail into Copper Canyon area, we also had crews working through behind the structures, making sure that that fire perimeter did move, checking the dozer line as it moves to the north up towards the power lines and through the easement up towards Radcliffe. Again, we had crews checking for hot spots, making sure there was nothing that was going to cause a problem. Continuing north up to the top, we're Division Bravo, up near the Calaveras Quarry. We had crews working in and out of that area as well. We've got a dozer line that goes down to Alley Cove. Also checking for hot spots in that top side of the fire, working with our Type 1 helicopters. I'm going to move over to Branch 5. Here on the top, Silverthorne, up by the marina. Crews are continuing to mop up that area. There's a lot of hot spots that are continuing to be worked on. The fire perimeter has not grown along the dozer line. They're also looking for hot spots and for any issues as it comes down through Bear Mountain into Division Union and then Division Whiskey. As you move down into Bear Mountain, all those structures along Sunrise, Kitty Hawk, we've had crews out there all day working to make sure that it's safe back there. They're checking for hot spots and making sure there's no issues throughout the entire community. Thank you.
Julie Malangowski, I'm the IMET trainee here. For weather, we are in a pattern where we're having winds out of the north. We've been seeing winds out of the north today, really drying things out throughout the day today since the rain occurred last evening. We are expecting north winds to increase as the sun goes down tonight, and we're expecting winds out of the north sustained 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts of 25 to 35 miles an hour through the mid-morning or late morning hours tomorrow. We are expecting those north winds to continue tomorrow, and then some elevated north winds as well on Wednesday night. However, we're anticipating that the gusts are going to be about 20 miles per hour Wednesday night. So conditions tomorrow are going to be a lot warmer, still winds out of the north. Relative humidity is very, very dry. So that's a big thing to take away today. This drier weather is moving in. We're expecting relative humidity to be down into the teens again tomorrow, and with those north winds continuing through Wednesday night. After Wednesday night, it looks like the winds are going to become a lot lighter, so we're going to start to see kind of a much calmer wind pattern set up for the end of the week as temperatures rise into the weekend. End of report.
Good evening. My name is Jonathan Pangburn. I'm the Fire Behavior Analyst with CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. The warmer weather, the drier air mass, and the continuing winds certainly are drying out the fuels and making them available for burning again. We are in a critical fuel condition. However, the firefighting tactics and operations that have been happening over the last few days of this incident have really gotten a handle on this particular incident. So while firefighters are continuing to mop up and make sure that the areas are safe for repopulation and ensuring that the containment lines are bolstered, we're also going to be looking in the area and making sure that there are no spots outside of the line that could get up and run. So thank you.
Good evening. I'm Michael Johnson with the Shasta County Sheriff's Department. I am the Shasta County Sheriff. So as you know, our role in this incident has been the law enforcement support for the event. And we got great news for you tonight. We are looking, as of 6 o'clock tonight, we will open all areas back to repopulation. This is good news. I know the citizens have been displaced, and there's a lot of questions regarding that repopulation. There will be 5 road closures still in place, and the repopulation will be open to residents only. So as you come back into your areas that you are going to reoccupy your homes, your residences, be prepared to show your ID and your credentials at the roadblocks and work with those folks to get you safely in there. He mentioned the top Silverthorne area. Up in there, there's still, CAL FIRE still has crews in there that will be working and doing some road work and clearing brush and stuff still in there, working on hot spots. So if you're a resident going into that area in particular, I ask you to please drive slowly and please pay attention because there will be hazards out there for you. We are the Office of Emergency Services run through the Shasta County Sheriff's Department is going to be working closely with our other county agencies running through public health to set up a resource area for residents to get information, to get supporting documents that may have been burnt up in the fire, and to get all the information they need on how to go about this cleanup. And those areas are not actually designated yet, and we have not established a date and time, but if you will go to our website, go to the California CAL FIRE websites, all those informations will direct you through and get you through where you need to know. For the time being, if you go back to your residence, the one thing I can warn you about is please don't clear all the stuff off of your foundation if it's been burnt. If you have damage or even if it's in rubble, I don't want you to clear that out because we have Cal Recycle that will be coming in who will assist with that. But if you move that rubble prior to them getting in and assisting, you may not get the assistance you want or need. And finally, the last thing I'd like to say is a huge thank you to the Incident 4 team, CAL FIRE Incident 4 team that has managed this incident, worked with Shasta County Sheriff's Office, CHP, and all the allied agencies to really come to a quick resolution and a really smooth resolution as best as we can. I know it's been impactful, so thank you.
Good evening, Brett Gavea, CAL FIRE Shasta Training Unit, Unit Chief, Shasta County Fire Department Chief. As we start a pretty steep glide path out of this fire over the next few days, I'd like to start by thanking Incident Management Team 4 and Chief Pemberton for their professionalism. I asked them to come in and hit this fire hard and get the job done, and then let's break it down and get people home, and that's exactly what's happening. Our #1 priority was to get all of you home. And so I have to thank the Shasta County Sheriff's Department for their professionalism and the speed in which they were able to do that in an orderly fashion. It's not easy to do that, and I thank them. I thank the California Highway Patrol and the City of Redding Police Department, Shasta County Public Health, Shasta County Public Works for all the assistance and helping us make it possible to get you back in. All the utility companies, they rose to the occasion as always and got the utilities back in place for us out there when we had a lot of damage to their infrastructure. So we owe them a big thanks for their expedience in getting you back to your homes and allowing us to do that. So thank you very much. Again, our local cooperators here in Shasta County and throughout the state, we couldn't do it without them. All of our fire districts, the City of Redding Fire Department, Just really big help for us as we take these on. We can't take these and deal with these incidents by ourselves, and without all the cooperators in the state, we wouldn't be able to do it. Finally, for those of you that are back in, those of you that have lost your homes, our thoughts are with you tonight and your families as you rebuild. Shasta County is resilient, and we are here to help you. And there are going to be a lot of folks out there in the area to help you. We will have fire crews in the areas for the next couple of weeks, patrolling and assisting homeowners, as well as the county will be here to help you rebuild. So our thoughts are with you. Have a good night.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Pemberton. I serve as CAL FIRE IMT4 Incident Commander. I want to say thank you to the community for your continued support during this difficult time. You adhered to the warnings that we issued, making our job to fight this fire much easier. Without your help allowing us to be able to aggressively suppress this fire, it could have been much more challenging by having residents remain in evacuated areas. As we've talked before, the initial attack efforts by your local firefighters was phenomenal, and the help from all of our partner agencies that were already mentioned. As you've heard, CAL FIRE Team 4 is transitioning out. That does not mean that firefighters are leaving your community. That means we're downsizing our footprint here at the fairgrounds and on the fire line because of our confidence in the efforts that we have done to suppress and control this fire. Your public safety partners appreciate this community's engagement in fire safety, and you adhered to our Ready, Set, Go acronym. And I believe informed communities are safer communities, and you live up to that every day. Thank you.
Most of the questions that were asked tonight were already asked, but we did have one outstanding question. Chief?
Hi, Tim Perkins, Operations Section Chief, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. The question is, how dangerous is it to go back home when we are in a warning? Great question. Certainly we have the areas in a warning more for an awareness. Certainly our crews are in and out of the structures and throughout the infrastructure there to make sure there's no more hot spots. We anticipate having crews through the community for more days to come until all those hot spots have been mitigated. The other thing is we've got fire damaged trees that are continuing to make sure that aren't going to pose a hazard. So if there was a concern that we did not want residents back into their homes, then we would have kept it into a mandatory. So it isn't a warning, and it's more of an awareness for you coming back to your homes. We will have fire crews out there. The utility companies will still be working hard to put that infrastructure back into place. And so those things are going to occur for the days to come. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We'd like to thank all of you for following us this evening. This concludes the virtual Facebook, YouTube press conference and virtual community. We will continue to provide incident updates at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. This will, however, serve as the last final interaction that we're going to have via Facebook, YouTube live video conference for you. You may have continued to follow updates at the CAL FIRE website at www.fire.ca.gov. Please continue to follow all social media. Again, we truly appreciate your support and appreciation. It truly kept our spirit going during this tough fight. At the end of this presentation, we will have for you on the screen QR codes that will link you to live presentations and email updates. Again, we sincerely appreciate your joining us this evening, and thank you.
Hello, I'm Fire Captain Amy Head. Returning home after a wildfire can sometimes be difficult. I'm here today to share some tips on how to make that transition easier. Let's start off at the edge of your property. Make sure that your driveway is clear of any debris, downed trees, limbs, or power lines. Also look up and make sure that the limbs and trees are safe and don't pose a risk of falling. Trees and brush that have been weakened by fire may lose limbs or fall. Outside of your home, be sure to do a thorough walk around the entire home, checking under decks for hot embers and also vents around the entire house. Be sure to check your gutters and the valleys on the roof for any hot smoldering embers. Also be sure to check in wood piles and debris piles. Before inspecting the inside of your house, be sure you don't smell natural gas or propane. Before you turn your power back on, be sure to inspect your house with a battery-powered flashlight. If you need help getting your utilities back on or there's any damage to your utilities equipment, contact your local electric and gas company. And depending how long you've been gone and how long your power's been out, you may have to throw out food that has spoiled. Once you've checked your home multiple times, you still may not be out of the woods. Sometimes after large fires, the ground becomes less stable and flooding and mudslides can happen once the rainy season starts. If you have concerns, you can contact your local Office of Emergency Services for assistance. Also, it's important to maintain defensible space around your home and property throughout the entire year to increase the chance of your home surviving a wildfire, just as these homeowners have done. For more information about evacuations and returning home after a wildfire, please visit readyforwildfire.org.
Otra vez. Hola, buenos días y bienvenido a Información Update para el incendio Fawn. Me llamo David, yo soy un oficial de información para CAL FIRE y para el incendio Fawn. Los números de hoy, septiembre 28, 2021, lo soy. 8,595 acres, 70% contenido, áreas 1,639 bomberos trabajar al incendio Fawn. Los bomberos trabajan en las líneas de contenido durante el día y hacen las líneas más fuertes. Durante el día la temperatura es abajo, es mejor para los bomberos. Durante la última noche, hace vende más fuerte para 4 o 5 horas. Pero muchos bomberos aquí están cerca del incendio. Los bomberos miran para partes nuevas del incendio y porque los oficiales tienen muchos bomberos listos para hayas no más incendio después el venito la última noche. Y los inspectores para las estructuras es completo con las inspecciones y hoy o mañana por favor visitar www.shastaready.com para mirar la mapa de estructuras cerca del incendio. Los oficiales dije, usted necesita manejar cerca del incendio, por favor, usa mucho cuidado, porque hay muchos bomberos y personas trabajar cerca del incendio. Gracias por su paciente y estar a salvo. Otra vez, gracias. Y a esta concluye la información de hoy. Buenas noches, amigos y amigas.